I want to know why ICE is allowed in our cities using military grade weapons without military grade training. It's clear that they haven't been trained. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know the laws. They don't know simple things like staying out of the front of a fucking car. If Trump isn't allowed to send in the military, he found a way around it. He found a way around sending in military. He has got this terrorist group called that he calls ICE, that he has created, and he has given them military grade weapons and sent them into our cities. Masked, unidentifiable, no name, no camera, nothing. You cannot tell me that this is not a terrorist organization sent into our cities by our own president. How is it legal that they have all these military weapons and vehicles and gear when the military is not allowed into our cities? He just found a workaround. He just made sure that ICE geared up with everything that the military would have. How did we let this happen? How have we not pushed back on this? This isn't like no joke. These guys are a bunch of fucking terrorists. You can't say that they're anything else but. They're not border control because they're not at the damn border. They're in our cities, killing citizens with military grade weapons, military grade vehicles, military grade gear. How on earth did anybody let this happen? Why aren't we pushing back? Why aren't we all in the streets forcing ICE out? Why aren't we all in the streets demanding an impeachment of Kristi Noem and Donald Trump for sending these terrorists into our cities to kill American citizens and remove our neighbors and our friends and our family who are living here legally and are going through the process? They don't care. They don't even saw a video of like it started off with one ICE agent asking a man if he was a citizen because he was dark skinned and had an accent. And then there were two ICE agents. And then there were four ICE agents. And then there were six ICE agents surrounding this man while he sat in his car, arguing with him about his citizenship. Now, he wasn't on a list. They didn't know who he was. They didn't, they clearly, they didn't know who he was, where he was from, or anything. They just saw him and went after him. Now, I thought that they were only supposed to be taking out people who have broken the law, criminals. This man wasn't a criminal. He was a fucking Uber driver, minding his own business, waiting for somebody to show up for a ride. That's not how they said that this was going to go. They said that they were just going to go out and get all the criminals, that they had a list of people that they needed to get and where they are. But these guys are just walking around parking lots looking for a dark person who has an accent. Tell me that's not a terrorist group. Tell me they're not terrorists. When they are equipped with military grade weapons and equipment, and the cities that they're in, comparing their weapons, it's like the cops have squirt guns compared to what these guys have. They overpower our own police forces. And we know that our police forces, they aren't wimpy. We know that our police forces have some really good equipment. But compared to ICE, they're walking around with water pistols, squirt guns. They got nothing. These guys got grenades. They got hand cannons. They have, I don't even know the name of all the guns and equipment that they have. But I do know, I've seen them use them illegally. Like shooting a cannon of, I don't know, tear gas or something. I don't know. Right in somebody's face. Right in somebody's face. I've seen them shoot journalists with, those non lethal bullets. She got fucked up. I've seen another girl who got shot in the head with one of those non lethal bullets, and she spent weeks in the hospital recovering from this. She had so much damage to her. I mean, I could probably sit here all day and give you story after story or video after video of things that I've seen ICE do, and they have no repercussions. They have no accountability. The government is telling them that they have complete immunity, which is bullshit. They don't, but they want them to. They want this terrorist group to be able to go into our cities and fight against us, fuck the law, murder us, separate our families, just cause complete chaos. And for what? It's sickening. It's sickening that America has its own terrorist group, and the president has unleashed it on the Americans. Trump is another version of a terrorist, invading country after country, threatening to invade countries, Greenland, Venezuela, Cuba, Mexico. We already know that during his first term, he wanted to throw bombs at Mexico and blame it on somebody else. This man is a terrorist. He's a piece of shit. I have to wonder how many MAGA has finally come to recognize this. I realize that there are a certain amount of people who are extremely mentally disturbed who still support him, and they are very sick people. Clearly, ICE agents, for one. I wonder if the world sees Trump as the terrorist that we see him as. I'm sure they do by now. I know that there's a lot of movement going on to protect Greenland from the United States, but he keeps saying that he's going to take it one way or the other. What a douchebag. What a douchebag. Oh my God. He's a terrorist. And he's got a terrorist army in his country controlling the American people, waiting for the moment that we snap and that he can actually send the real military in. We can't give him that. Of course, you know that we can't give him that. It's not who we are anyway. He might be an evil, violent person, but the majority of us are not. Just people trying to survive, get our kids through school and afford groceries and not get fired from our shitty fucking job. We're just going through life here. But this man feels the need to terrorize us. He wants to keep us in place. But if anything, it's just going to make us rebel harder. It's going to make me rebel harder. Trump has he has no respect for the American people. He has no respect for anything that Americans have done over the last 250 years. He has no respect for how far we have come in such a short time. The American people, the immigrants in America, which is pretty much all of us, we built this country. It took a long time. We did a lot of great things. I mean, we did interstates and we did, the dams, and the immigrants did a lot of work in this country. And I don't know how this orange piece of shit, this orange bully, this terrorist can have such little respect for the things that we can do. To him, the only good thing that we can provide is money. Money. He wants us to just work. He wants to change our economy from a consumer economy to a working economy, taking away all of our power, promising everybody factories and jobs, and enough people are falling for it because they're like, yay! No, you have to do your homework and find out what this means. I can tell you it's nothing good. It is nothing good. Being a consumer, being the engine, being the fuel for this consumer economy, he can't handle that. We have any control over our lives at all. So now they want to change it from a consumer based economy where we just spend to a worker based economy where he'll make his money off tariffs and whatever. I don't know. But it's not going to be, we're not going to have any of that power anymore. He's a fucking terrorist. He is taking everything away from this country and he's trying to take all the other countries. I don't know. ICE should not be in our cities with military grade weapons when the military is not allowed to be in there. There is no difference right now between ICE and the military except maybe for the training. The military would at least know how to use their guns, when to use the guns, stay out of the front of the fucking vehicles. But ICE, Kristi Noem has made sure that they have no training. They've cut the training weeks down to 47 days. What a fucking bunch of faggots. So we need to do something about ICE and their military weapons being inside of our cities with no training, no idea, thinking that they don't have to obey laws, thinking that Trump and Noem will protect them from any laws that they break, any murders that they commit, any lawsuits that come against them. We need to stop this somehow. We need to defund them. I still haven't forgotten about how ICE went into that apartment building and grabbed those babies and threw them into the streets naked in the middle of the night. I haven't forgotten that. You can't tell me that's not terrorism. I will not forget about Renee Good. I will not forget what they've done. I will not forget that they shot a reporter. I will not forget that they shot a priest. I will not forget that they shoot their cannons in people's faces. I will not forget that when a car next to them in traffic taunts them, the guy just pulls out a grenade and drops it out the window, a smoke grenade, and just drives away. These guys are fucking terrorists, and America needs to do something about it since our government won't. Since it is our government that has unleashed them onto our society. I don't know, guys. Hang in there. There's more coming.